In August 2000, Zhu Keming from Hong Kong, and Wang Jie from Beijing, after searching for relevant legal provisions of Chinese law, drafted and mailed a petition letter to the Supreme People's Procuratorate in Beijing, accusing Jiang Zemin, Luo Gan, and Zhongqing Hong, of banning and suppressing Falun Gong illegally. This became the first lawsuit against Jiang. After the Procuratorate received the letter, the defendants, Jiang Zemin, and Luo Gan were flustered and exasperated, and immediately ordered a mass hunt, as if this was a major incident. 2 weeks after the letter was mailed, the two plaintiffs were arrested in Beijing. After Zhu Keming and Wang Jie were arrested on September 7, there was no further news about them. Jiang and Luo Gan had nothing to interrogate them about, but determined only to vent their spite. Therefore, the police officers didn't bother to interrogate them, but instead beat and tortured them. However, both of them were resolute and steadfast, and rather die than surrender. Since Wang Jie was a Chinese citizen, he was subjected to even more horrible tortures and abuses. In November 2000, due to the horrible torture, Wang Jie had to be treated in hospital for 7 days. He was released on bail for medical treatment and awaited trial. At that time, Wang Jie was completely disoriented. His body weight had gone down from 70 to 50 kilograms. He had lost control of his bowel and bladder and needed dialysis every other day. When Wang Jie was hospitalized, the police officers kept watching on him in the hospital every day. His health never improved and he didn't speak a word during that time. Afterward, the police allowed his family to bring him back home to be treated with traditional Chinese medicine. After Wang Jie was brought back home, his symptoms were resolving. However, he still couldn't move his body, not mention walk. When his family members asked what kind of suffering he underwent while in police custody, he didn't answer, but his eyes were filled with tears. In late April 2001, Wang Jie was brought overseas with the help of some very kind people. On May 2, some Falun Gong practitioners discovered that Wang Jie displayed symptoms of losing memory, breathing difficulties, and extreme muscle weakness. To maintain breathing during sleep at night, he needed to slowly remove his underpants to relieve the pressure of the elastic band against his waist. One day, Wang Jie suddenly started to talk, saying, "I have experienced all kinds of tortures." Wang said that one of the means of torture the police often used was to wrap a person up with a layer of something, before beating him violently. That way, the wounds would not be visible. Wang Jie's skin around his ankles had been worn through to the bone, from having been shackled for so long. Wang said, "The most painful moment was when the police officers kneed me in the kidneys. I fell into a coma for 1 month." But he was never afraid. In his final days, Wang developed night sweat and hematemesis. Sometimes after eating 1 or 2 mouthfuls of food, he would violently vomit blood. On midnight of June 18, 2001, Wang Jie fell to the floor in the restroom, and never rose again. He was 38 years old at the time. In April 2001, Zhu Keming's family members were notified that Zhu was secretly sentenced to 5 years imprisonment, and transferred to Chadian prison in Tianjin City. To force him renouncing Falun Gong, the police there electrocuted and tortured him. Due to the tortures, Zhu lost 2/3 of his teeth. However, Zhu stuck with his belief and never compromised. He not only refused to be brainwashed and transformed, but also wrote appeal letters every month. Prison authorities never sent the appeal letters written by Zhu to their designated offices. Starting in August 2001, Falun Gong practitioners in Hong Kong and America made many efforts to call for the release of Zhu Keming, who was a Hong Kong resident. Overseas media, such as Associated Press, BBC, Agence France Presse, Apple Daily and so on, had reported on this story. After being released, Zhu Keming continued his effort to stop the CCP's persecution of Falun Gong.